Awesome. So what got you interested initially in coaching? I mean, obviously, like you booked the format a little while ago. We finally been able to get it fit in. So, but what got you initially interested in coaching?
Well, what got me interested? Right, so I've watched a lot of your videos, a bunch of it. And it's pretty simple. So I was impressed by how you do the videos, and it's just something that I wanted for myself. So
Sure.
yeah, I booked like a coaching session with you.
Okay. Okay. And then obviously, the codes got wiped and then we rescheduled.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
obviously, how long have you been playing Overwatch?
Overwatch. I've been playing since November, on and off, and
Hmm.
the seriousness varied. Uh, you know, in the
Sure.
months
Sure.
since.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. So,
Right now,
no, go ahead.
yeah, right now I've been playing I guess my most serious phase
Mm.
for like 2 months maybe
Okay. Sounds
since.
good. Now, so what, like, obviously that kind of coincides with you booking the session initially. So,
Yeah.
what kind of flip the switch for you?
Um well, for a while I've been stuck in gold, and
Mm.
just recently when I booked the session, I breached the breached plat 5, and
Right.
then
Nice.
I guess over the past month I reached plat 1, and then I fell back down to gold 1. I think what's this? This coincides with the my weakness or something there, which was in the
Hmm.
form, like
Mm-hmm.
my mentality and everything,
Sure.
which is that I what do you call this? I tend to tilt
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
a lot. And
Right.
so, I think I need a break. Uh
Sure. Sure. Makes
on it.
sense. Makes sense.
So
I
yeah,
have that
I'm
form
back
pulled up,
back
by the
to gold
way.
1.
For what parts of it are relevant, obviously we'll go through. But okay, okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. So, well, first off, congratulations on at least getting in plat. Obviously, kind of
Mhm.
bumping in and out could be a little frustrating to say the least. So, what got you interested in Overwatch in the first place, though? Because you're still a relatively new player. So,
Yeah.
what kind of got you into the game initially?
Well, what got me into the game was it was free. So I asked
Yeah,
my friends if they wanted to play
sure,
back during the back during November, and then so we did. And I still play with them from time to time,
of course,
doing first off with the quick play and then comp sometimes.
sure,
And I play with them comp, sometimes I play it solo sometimes, so it varies. And so it's more of like a combination of a social thing with friends, and also just having fun with the game.
yeah, yeah, okay, okay, makes sense, makes sense. So, where are you at right now, goal wise? Because you got the plat. Obviously, you're like I guess now officially average at the game. Um,
I guess.
but yet you kind of describe it as still a pretty social thing for you, right? You spend time with friends as friends are what got you interested in the
Yeah.
game. You kind of play a mixture of solo queue and playing with friends, and yet you're taking it a little bit more seriously. So where is your kind of like maybe this is a tough question to answer, but where is your kind of spectrum of seriousness? Like
Ah,
what do you enjoy the most? Because for me, I'm actually ironically relatively casual right now, at least with playtime.
yeah.
So where are you right now?
Well, honestly, I do want to improve
Mm,
as a like as an individual player. So I'd say it's like a 50-50, maybe. It varies depending on the time of the year,
sure.
if it's a social thing or if it's like a solo queue, wanting to grind mindset kind
Makes
of thing.
sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, right now, I guess in the immediate term, it'd be trying to reset my mentality, take a break a bit,
Right.
and then see how I can get back to my peak,
Yeah.
how I was doing much better. I think this was just recently, actually. Yeah, I just checked. I tilt queued December 3 or 2, something like that.
Mhm.
So and I've never, which is I guess 2 weeks, and then I fell back down.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, it's important for me because when I think about like whether you're serious or whether you're casual, like whatever the case is, if you're tilt queuing, you're not even if you're playing casually, that's you're not having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's why it's so bad. It's like even from like a casual standpoint, it's like you want to have fun playing the game, and if you're getting frustrated and rage queuing, then that's not good from competitive integrity, nor is it good
yeah.
from like an improvement standpoint, right? So I guess before we talk about that though, I want to quickly talk over like the characters that you play. Reinhardt, Sigma, Soldier, Mercy. So you're kind of a spectrum rank wise. So when you said that you hit plat, what role, what heroes were you playing?
Oh, okay. That
That
was
might be
tank,
outdated.
and yeah. It's kind of outdated
Okay.
ish. That's tank and what's this, and support. Uh,
Okay.
Outdated wise because my Sigma isn't as good as my Reinhardt. So whenever I do Sigma, it feels like I'm getting I'm on the back foot,
Right.
compared to my Reinhardt. So I've kind of changed it to Reinhardt and Winston in those maybe like 10% of the time, in case there's
Okay.
like a widow in the map,
Yeah. So
tank
it's
pops
mostly
in and
tank though?
yeah, yeah. Tank
Okay.
right now. But
Okay.
then, it depends, sometimes I need the variety. Sometimes I focus I remember before tank I focused on support
Okay.
for a
Okay.
while.
Makes sense. Makes
So
sense.
yeah.
Now what is tank the main role that you wanting to improve with? Or are you still kind of playing a little bit of everything depending on the situation?
I think tank is the one that I want to focus on right now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, I will say, obviously, it depends on the circumstance, but, you can improve at all roles. It won't be as
Oh yeah.
efficient, but I think spending time with one role and then maybe getting a little bit bored, wanting to try another role, that's totally fine. But for right
Yeah.
now, tank. Okay. So, you talk a lot about you want to improve your understanding, revealing any blind spots, specifically playing around 9 hours of Overwatch per day or per week, excuse me.
Yeah.
How is that time? How is that time spent? Like, how many days do you
Yeah.
warm up? Do you play just ranked? How much of that is
Hmm.
solo queue? I know that's going to depend, but kind of give me the general idea.
Uh right. So right now, and I guess this is a something that's been a rule since back then and going forward.
Yeah.
Uh I usually only play during the weekends,
Mm.
maybe a bit of Thursday.
Hmm.
Uh, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Thursday, sometimes Monday, depending on my work. Because
Gotcha.
on the weekdays, I usually just focus on work up until the evening, and then I work out, and then yeah, there's usually no time
Yeah.
for for Overwatch or video games and
Of
everything.
course.
Maybe just like yeah.
Of course.
So yeah, so it's usually yeah, the weekends, and then depending on my friends when they want to join up, sometimes I play with them, sometimes I don't.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
50-50 kind of
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. And then how is that time spent? Like you said, it just depends with friends, but it's mostly ranked, you said?
Yes. I'd say quick play would be by myself. It's maybe 1 or 2 games to warm up, and then ranked all the way. And then friends, I'd say maybe 20%, 10 to 20% is quick play.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Um, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, obviously, if you're looking to improve competitive hours, are your most important hours.
yeah,
Obviously, you're going to be spending a lot of your time playing on the weekend, but you really only have a couple hours of focused practice every day. So you can't really play super, super, super catch up. Like, oh, I'm going to make up for the lost time during the week. you want to try and aim for around 2 to 3 hours of competitive. That's like best case scenario.
Mhm.
What might be interesting is not so much like the quantity of like those hours, but like how those hours are shifted. So if I could have my way, if improvement was a priority, then you would
Yeah.
want to play your solo queue first, generally,
Mhm.
and then or even if it's your duo queue, like you're stacking with friends, like your more important competitive grind
Yeah.
hours first, as while you have that energy, even during the weekend. But obviously, like that's going to depend on your schedule, and also I think it's like you again, you need to kind of find that balance between serious growth, um,
Mhm.
and like the best way to put this, serious growth and like not compromising your fun, right? I think that's like the
Yeah.
key thing for you. So it's like, how much of this is really fun, I'm enjoying this, um, and how much of this is, me just forcing myself to play because I want to
Yeah.
play. And obviously, then like the thing is, it's like if you're not having fun because you're forcing yourself to only do solo queue first, and some days I just want to play with friends, and then you get demotivated that you don't even rank up like that. Like that, that's obviously like that kills the whole point of playing. Is
Oh
like
yeah.
that
Yeah.
you're trying to you want to enjoy it. So I guess for me, it's like optimally that's the thing. However, you need to be very self aware of like, am I forcing myself? You know, you don't want to go to
Yeah.
the opposite extreme, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think one of the I guess drivers for the forcing myself thing is I kind of like have a um I don't know, like a semi schedule to playing. So it's like
Yes.
in the evenings, like say Sunday evening, 9 to 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to do, might as well play. And then after two losses at the after getting on queue on comp, I get two losses. I'm like, really, will I will I stop now after 30 minutes? I have nothing else to do.
Well, I
So
mean
then
but see, that's not tilt queuing then at that point, because you're like saying like, oh, like should I stop after like two losses? I agree, you shouldn't. It doesn't make any sense. But what about if you keep playing when you're super, super upset? You know what I'm saying? That
yeah,
that's a different circumstance. Because I
and
agree with
then
you. People come up with these arbitrary rules like, oh, you should never play after a certain amount of losses. You should call it there. I think that's bull. It's so
uh,
stupid. Like what just play if you're having fun, play if you're being productive.
mhm,
But like give me a break, right? But at the same time, you have to be very self aware. Should you stop
yeah,
after two losses and some dead? Yes.
depends.
Yes, some
Depends.
and no, exactly. It depends, right? It depends on the circumstance. Um, but yeah, I guess that's that. Like that's where you need to be self-aware. So
Mhm,
I guess that segues nicely into our mentality here. It's like obviously this is an issue. Maybe you've worked at it, maybe you haven't.
yeah.
So what's the plan? What's the plan for you? You says I'm trying to stop now by implementing a two losses in a row, stop playing competitive rule. But obviously we talked about that's a flawed perspective, right? Like there should be
Mhm.
there shouldn't be any rules, right? With that,
Uh,
you know. So, what do you think? What's the next step for you?
well, as you said, I do need to, I don't know, be self-aware,
Yeah,
but being taking the I don't know, the concrete steps to being self-aware enough to know when I'm not being productive
right.
is
Exactly.
something that I don't know what else to do besides this the two loss rule, which is, I guess,
Mm. Well, that's the hard
it's
part,
the
right?
hard one.
That's the
Yeah.
hard part, right? So you're either like, well, I don't have rules at all, or I find a rule that applies always. I have a suggestion for that.
Uh-huh.
Take a break between every single game, 30 seconds, 1 minute.
Thank you. 1 minute.
Even just while you're in queue, just get up, stretch your legs, move around. And by break, I mean literally walk away from the computer. Like get up. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Sure. Yeah.
And what you do during those 30 seconds, minute, whether it's grabbing water, checking the mail, or doing a push up, or just putting a dish away, or like just walking around the room,
Yeah.
even that's like you give yourself a chance to take some deep breaths, see how you're feeling. I mean, maybe you just have a sick win. Maybe you just popped off the previous game. It's still important, right? Take a second,
Mhm.
think about your energy level, decide if you should, what's your moment mentality like, whether should I keep going, that kind of stuff. You kind of get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
That will allow you to kind of evaluate, hey, should I keep playing? Like, am I in a good
Yeah.
position? Like, maybe you're like, I've played 2 hours. I usually stop here. Or maybe, you know what it is? Here's what it is. You get your two losses, right? But you're not tilted. You're just a little tired. So you're like, all right, take a break. Do I want to stop?
Mhm.
No, I actually think I'm not tilted. I think I'm still focused. I'm still practicing. Okay, then keep going. You got to see what I'm saying.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I think taking a short 30-second break would always be useful. Always, whether you're on a win streak, a loss streak, or whatever. Does that kind of
Uh,
make sense?
yeah. Maybe a bit longer for me.
Okay, well that's fine. That's fine. What are you gonna try then? How long are you gonna go for? Just to start.
uh I guess if the what's this? If I've been on a loss streak or
Oh,
like
just after
just
every game.
generally.
After every game. After
Uh
your first game of the day.
oh, after every game. That's
Every game. I know it's unorthodox. Yeah, I know it's unorthodox, but preserve your energy,
10 10 minutes maybe.
I mean, 10 minutes between every game would mean that you don't play very many games, right?
Yeah. Um.
So maybe
I.
it's
Mm,
okay. What about 2 minutes after every game? Longer if you feel like you need it.
oh, sure. Sure.
Again, like we're
Maybe.
creating a rule, but we're allowing you to be flexible with it. Depend on this. Like, what if you want to take a 5 minute break or a 10 minute break or 15 minute break? Or what if you need a 1 minute break? I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
If,
Sure.
evaluate the situation. I guess my point is that what I want you to do is to create a rule that allows you to be more self aware, if that makes any sense, right?
I see.
Because it's a rule with a lot of flexibility, a lot of how you feel like or what you
Mhm.
want to do, and just see how it goes. And what's going to happen? It's importantly here. It's like it's not going to fix your issues, not right away,
Yeah.
but it's going to allow you to kind of be in the headspace to where you can put more thought into improving your
Mhm.
ability to kind of be self-aware. Because I think the way to improve your tilt is always two ways. You either improve your ability to deal with pressure, or you make it easier to deal with pressure. The break will allow you to think and kind of stay calm, but the break will
Mhm.
also allow you to just, it's going to be easier. You're going to take a short break. You're going to feel less tilted naturally, you know? It's going to calm yourself down without even trying. And I think that's kind of the goal. Does that make
Got it.
sense?
Yes. Yes, it
Okay.
does.
So again, we want to give yourself some flexibility, some opportunity to figure some things out. I would recommend that. Let me keep looking through your form here.
Mhm.
There are times when I let opportunities slip because I'm not able to execute my mechanics properly because I was supposed to do something but didn't. Elaborate on that, please.
Yeah. So usually, I guess since this is tank, this Reinhardt, um, like for example, missing fire strikes is a big one, especially if it's
Of
close range and they're like
course.
juking me out and everything. I'm like, and I could have killed someone, but then that someone lived, and then they killed someone. So it's something like that. Or it's charging in and then missing a pin.
Of
What
course.
else? Or or uh or or losing someone, when I'm hitting them, and then they're like
Right.
raging, and then they just
Right.
jump away
Right.
or jump behind me. That those kind of things mechanically. I guess also, yeah, there's probably like some execution or execution of understanding problems as well. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, the mechanics are going to be unavoidably an issue that you're going to need to improve at. But um, as long as you're aware and practicing it, then sure, that's fine. Okay. Um, any questions so far?
Any questions? No
Okay.
questions.
Well, I don't really have anything else from your form. We talked about breaks. We talked about mentality. Talked about how you're approaching things, all that jazz.
Mhm.
Um, if you'd like to, we can get into the game.
Sure, sure.
All right. Do you have a code for me?
Ah, yes, I do. I have two codes. I have one that's a Rhine mirror and one that isn't. So yeah, recently this one is against a Winston, I believe.
Okay.
So CF
Nice.
4A
CF48. Okay.
Alpha
A for A, sorry.
BE. Uh
E as an egg.
yes.
Okay, let's take a look. So the Reinhardt you said?
No, this is the against the Winston.
Ah, okay, okay. So you must swap.
So yeah, that's
So what
same
does
like
Reinhardt?
Valkyrie.
Yeah. I got you. What does Reinhardt do? What are the things that
Uh,
you've been practicing recently? Things that you're aware of? Things that you have to do well? Strengths of the character,
yeah,
weaknesses of the character. The whole routine.
right. So what he does is he hits people, right,
Yeah.
with his hammer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the question is how to get close to people, you know,
hmm Okay. Okay. So what have
without
you been
without
practicing recently?
dying.
Have you been practicing anything?
I guess the closest thing to practice, or at least staying trying to be aware of, is how to get close, when to get close,
Yeah. Of
especially without getting blown up,
course.
you know,
Okay.
because
Okay.
sometimes when I go in, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and I think it has to do with like your recent videos
Yeah.
about cheating, maybe, or maybe it's
Yeah.
timing
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something like that.
So it
Because
sounds like you have
yeah,
like you've watched a few videos, watched some guides, taken some notes, have some ideas. So then the question is going to be like, where's the gap between maybe your understanding and your execution,
mm,
right? Um, okay. So any questions before we jump in?
uh, no question.
Okay, let's take a look then. So Idiari, Soldier, Sojourn, Kiriko, Ryan, lots of
Yeah,
people to swing on.
on top of the gas station, like
Yeah. Question is can you get there? See, I like the creativity here, but this is where you kind of are like looking at it right now, where it's like, all right, well, I can't go to the gas station right now.
yeah,
So
you
can I beat on the Rhine a little bit, find an
yeah.
opportunity, right?
Sometimes what I do is I just charge all the way to the uh
Here.
back stairs. Yeah,
Yeah, you could do that.
just clear the guy out.
Sure. Good try. That fire strike needs to hit. See, this is the thing, right? You talk about your mechanics, right? I'm not gonna lie with you. This isn't mechanics. This is just your brain off.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think your mechanics are better than this. Would you agree?
Uh, uh I don't know with my fire strikes. My there's something
Sure.
something else.
So let's put it this way. Even if this is your level of mechanics and you're like, oh, this is not very good. Okay, put some emphasis on it. Put some focus on it. Go into here when you're talking about mechanics. Like people don't realize this, but you could go into a match and all you worry about is your fire strike accuracy, and
Mhm.
you might lose a lot of games practicing that. But you're gonna get really good at your fire strikes. You can get, and that's practice, right? Just because it's mechanics doesn't mean that you shouldn't practice it. You should. You should. Like this right here, this is 100 damage. This guy's armor should be completely gone. Like he should be down to like 350 HP right now.
I
Hit the
see.
fire strike, you know? And then hit him again. You have another one. Hit him again. There you go. Yeah. That fire strike? I mean, come on, right? Good pen. Hit that one. Love to see it. Good. Almost. But see, even that one, you see where it hit? Hit the floor.
Yeah.
Right? You're better than that. And if you're not better than that, then you need to focus until you are better at it. Right?
Mhm.
And that's just gonna come with reps. That's just gonna come with reps. It's gonna come with reps, but not just reps of just mindlessly playing Reinhardt, but really, really going, I'm gonna hit this freaking ice. Like I'm going to hit it. I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna scout their movement and I'm gonna hit it. Does that make sense? Um,
Count the movement. Hit it.
yeah. Yes.
Sure.
Exactly. Exactly. Sure. Would have canceled that charge a little faster, but this is pretty good. Sure. LH Cloudy on the move.
Yeah.
Oof, that's scary. What happened there? Did you count?
I missed the fire strike.
Oh, the brig shield bashed. I was like so confused.
Oh, she saved me.
Yeah, she did. Again, that fire strike, right? Come on now. So I like kind of what you're trying to do, but what you're trying to do is mechanically challenging, right? You cannot afford to do what you just did with that fire strike, right? Because you're not sitting there and beating on a Reinhardt and just beating on Reinhardt and beating on Reinhardt. You are chasing squishies. And if you can't cancel that charge or hit those pins or hit those fire strikes and manage your HP and all that kind of stuff, this is not going to work. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I don't mind any of what you're doing. It's very aggressive. It's very proactive. It's very divey, going for backline. I really don't have a problem with it. But I do have a problem with how you're applying yourself right now. And I think the easy cop out is that my mechanics are just not that good. But I think that, like, especially with a character like Reinhardt, where it's like, you know, you don't always get immediate negative feedback when you miss a fire strike, like you do with a widow shot. You know, oh, I missed the shot. I should have hit that right. Fire strike, maybe you're just kind of brainless, just swinging. But you should treat every fire strike like a widow shot. You're not gonna be able to hit all of them. It's impossible. The projectile's too slow. But you should try to hit them.
Yeah.
And
that's what I tried to do.
Right. Right. Like even that, right? Like, come on. You're better than that. It's very important that you hit that fire strike. Very important. Good. Good shatter. You need to hit this fire strike. You will lose this duel if you don't hit this fire strike. Swing fire strike. You know the animation cancel, right?
Yeah.
Swing fire strike. Swing fire strike. Swing fire strike. I mean, you're beyond. Oh yeah, and you're still gonna lose this, right? Like that's the takeaway from this fight. If you swing fire strike, that Ryan dies just a sliver faster. You get another swing in the Ciliari. I mean, your Cassidy just absolutely deadlifted the crap out of that for you. You see that?
Yeah.
By the way, you could press T or interact. I think it's I for most things, and jump ahead to the next spawn. Save yourself some time.
Yeah.
Just interact key, you know, that symmetric teleport key, you know?
Yeah.
So
It's F, I think.
yeah, F. That's right. It's T for me. I always forget that I changed it. But. All right. I mean, that was close, right? Felt like you aimed that one. That one was close. That one also close. Doesn't quite hit, but as long as you're trying, like I mean, really trying. There you go. Gonna go top. Let's do it. I'm ready for it. Good. I mean, come on. Come on. Look at this. Double fire strike. Look at that damage. I mean, come on. If you don't hit that fire strike, she might not die. She might get Suzu'd. She might get double mercy pocket and then live long enough for her to get slide. Like, that was crucial that you did that. Like, I'm telling you, if you showed me this clip right here, the last 15 seconds, and then showed me 15 seconds, I don't know, 2 minutes ago, I would legitimately think there is a rank and a half between the Reinhardts.
Yeah. I think we rolled them on attack.
Okay.
And then we got rolled on defense. So.
Well, I want to say, but you know, I say that, and then, and what is this? You know? No, come on. But it's important. It's important that you do these things because you can have. The thing is that bad mechanics will make a good play fail.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh well, I shouldn't hint for backline. No, you should. If you see that opportunity, if you're smart with it, right? But you better not. You have to hit your shots. Okay, let's see what we got here. I like this. Good fire strike. Be careful about how much damage you take before this, because the idea is that if you take too much damage, you cannot go for the aggressive play. If that makes any sense. I mean, this fight's pretty much lost. You guys had a soldier in the back line who just killed everybody. It's all right. Okay, let's see. Aim it. Aim it. Come on, aim it. It's even okay to save it, right? Because you look at the ult, right? You got it. You're gonna like it doesn't take 3 seconds to charge 2 fire strikes. It takes a little bit. Like what is it? Like what? 16 seconds? Something like that? I'm 10, 12 seconds, somewhere around there, right? So even if you don't see good opportunity, I mean, right now, what if you had 2 fire strikes? Throw one up here. You could throw one right there. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, there it is. Nice. Swing fire strike right here, right? Just get that slightly faster. Go clear high ground. Don't blind fire strike. Good. Do it. Do it. Do it. You see it, right? lay there. Now, I don't know if maybe they have Suzu. That's the only, yeah. So maybe you don't do this because of Suzu, but honestly, like, if you did this and they Suzu'd, I wouldn't even be mad. I mean, this is okay. I think just taking the mercy kill there is also fine though. Good. Get that HP back. Good. Nice. Again, love it. Love the creativity. Good fire strike. Again, very important fire strike. Finishes off the Soldier Fest. I think you guys cleaned this up.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I want to see what got you low. Let's go back just a wee little bit. Yeah, so the only thing here is just a little bit more of the HP management, right? Because you're like, oh, I'm swinging, I'm getting the kill. That's huge. Like right here. As soon as I'm here, maybe doing a little bit of shielding, right? Just a little bit. Just to kind of get yourself... Yeah, get yourself back to full. And maybe just a little bit slow there, but that's all right. Okay, well, I think that's a cap, no? I think, yeah, that's a cap. All right. So, like the play style, hate the mechanics. And crucially, it's not just, oh, your mechanics are bad. Crucially, it's, I don't think that you're giving your mechanics enough emphasis, whether it's your charges or your fire strikes. Even your shatters, right? Being very specific about what target am I going for and really giving yourself the opportunity to practice it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah. How do I practice the mechanics actually?
Ranked deathmatch.
Okay. Yeah. That's.
I mean, people are gonna think you're crazy, but Q and unranked, you know the unranked deathmatch, right?
Oh yeah. I play right. I play. I guess deathmatch while waiting. That's something.
Sure. Pick Ryan. Make people's lives miserable. Yeah. You're gonna get really good at fire striking people and swinging and doing the whole thing. Like even the mechanics of moving your camera, right? Like like the active hitbox of the Ryan hammer. Like if you're able to tweak your camera a little bit, you get an extra hit or two.
Yeah.
The little details. But yeah, absolutely. But I think it's not for you. It's not just the playing of the ranked, the playing of the deathmatch, but really not just going through the motions. And that's why the tilt is so bad, because not only does it you make bad decisions, you're miserable, you're not having fun.
Yeah.
But you're not really learning. You're not really focusing on anything.
Yeah. I noticed that ever since I dropped, my mechanics have been much worse. Hitting the walls a lot of the time.
Right. Because you drop and you spend a lot of time just total brain off. And then now it's like you have all these not only bad habits, but you wasted time. You wasted time that you should have spent actively learning and practicing. Because there's you think about all these players that are spent 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 hours in the game. They still don't have good mechanics. You're like, how? Right? Well, playing the game doesn't give it to you. You have to actually play the game and do it. You have to focus, right? You can't just show up. But obviously, for you, I think that's going to be the key thing there. Good. So I think it's okay to start here, to hold high ground. The only problem with this is though, although you are holding high ground, you're not really in a good spot to swing on their backline. So it's fine to go for here, but at some point you might want to drop to start to pressure that soldier, to pressure that Zenyatta.
I went back because they had a Winston, so I
Sure.
knew they were going to dive.
Sure. So there's two things you can do versus the dive, right?
Yeah.
Hit the dive, which you're in a great position to do, or control the follow-up, which you could be in a great position to do. Right now, I think this is fine.
Though there wouldn't be any follow-up from these guys on the ground, right?
Well, you say that, but there would be healing, there would be damage. Even just the fact that this Zenyatta and Soldier are not being pressured means that this Kiriko can go follow her Winston, Whereas if you're here swinging and controlling the soldiers in Yada, then this Kirikou has to stay. I mean, also if I'm coaching the soldier and I'm like, hey, that Reinhardt's up, you know where I'm going? I'm running all the way up here and taking the angle here, right? Which he can't do if you're holding this.
I see. I see. Yeah, because that's usually like going up and keeping the tank busy.
Yes.
If they're in dive is usually something that I do. Like on Havana, I know I played
Yep. First point
several
high
times
ground.
with
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
played several times with a against a Doomfist Genji kind of thing.
Sure.
And if I'm there, it's my I don't know, Hanzo Widow can hold for a much longer time.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing that you're doing right now. There's just I
Yeah.
want you to understand that there's opportunities, there's nuance, right? Even the fact that, for example, they're going to be able to push the cart a lot further, so that if you lose this fight because you're on high ground, you will not be able to recontest
Okay. So
because cart will go to here.
okay. So is it like do I do do I stay on high ground or do I
I'm not going to give you the answer.
okay.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Right now, this is not bad. Holding the
Mhm.
corner would also not be bad because you could swing on squishies. So what I want you to do is I want you to start exploring the nuances on your own.
Mm.
Because they're
So
only nuances, then I don't need to spoon feed it to you. You'll figure it out.
I see. Sure,
You'll
sure.
figure it out. This is not you're not throwing, so I'm not going to chastise you. I just want you to go and find out what the answer is on your own, because there's a lot of little factors, right? I'll give you a few of them. One of them is, can I swing on their backline? If the answer is yes, then maybe controlling backline is better, right?
Yeah.
Another one is, how important is this high ground? Another one is, how important is my shield to my team? For example, here you talked about, oh, the backline's not really following up, right?
Yeah.
Well,
That's spam right there.
yeah. The other one is also as well, like we talked about, like how much space, and there it is. You see it? We predicted it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right? The soldier, right? How much space will they get from that? How good am I at swinging on the enemy tank? Winston is decent. Doomfist is a lot better, right? You can counterpin him. Your hammer does a lot more of his HP. He doesn't have any armor. That I love that, right? Wrecking Ball, very hard to peel,
Yeah.
right? So maybe that's something. Unless he's CC, then you can pin him and all that kind of stuff. So those are some of those nuances that you should be considering and make a decision. I don't think that you trolled this decision. I'm not sure that it was the best one, but this is good sometimes. Yeah, get her. Might have put a little bit more emphasis on that Kiriko. I mean, this fight's lost. This fight is lost. You should probably just die in cart. Yeah, I mean, the second that your Widow just got annihilated, it's pretty much lost. See, right now, you're thinking about it. I can see your brain. You're going, do I want to hold here in this corner, or should I go hold with a high ground with my team?
Yeah. Or the corner on my left.
On the left, right, the high ground. Fire strike needs to hit. Here's what you don't do, though. You don't chase.
Yeah.
If you're
There's
here,
no way.
you can't get there. So just go here. If you had started here, okay. But don't chase. Don't even look. Don't even look. Don't even look. I have no idea why he's primaling you, but sure. A little bit late on the pen. Yeah, a little bit late on the pen here. You should never get primal rage. If you pin right now, this guy's dead, and you're alive. So just a little bit late in the pen. Because I'm sitting here like, haha, why is he primaling you? And then, well, it happens. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Relatively minor detail. Let's keep going. Fight's probably lost here. Ooh, I don't know about that from you or your brig. That's fine. Let's keep going. Okay. See what you're doing? What space are you controlling right now?
Yeah, not a lot.
Mm-hmm. Can you help your
There's
team with a soldier?
I can't. Yeah.
Right. So what should you do?
Swing on the Winston.
Sure.
Here you go.
Or shatter. Just freaking shatter the guy.
Mm.
Because you're thinking like, oh, I can't kill. Doesn't matter. Just put him up. Put him on his back. Prevent the Kiriko from walking forward. Make the Zen transom. Wait, like if you can't help here, then do something over here.
Yeah.
Because you're right now acting like the tank that r/Overwatch will be like, oh, real tank main, and you'll lose a lot of games. They get all shielding my team, and you'll lose a lot of games. Now that was a pen of all time. What was that? What was that?
Oh, he was looking behind her. That's why.
Okay, well, you know.
All right, that hitbox.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Nice fire strike. Huge, right? Like, seriously, look at that. Look at that. That Zen does not die without this fire strike. Look at his HP. Bam. Bam. He lives. You got me? Nice job. Huge. Great stagger there. You've just bought your team 15 more seconds, 20 more seconds. Now, what should you do? Do you want to hold the cart, control backline, or do you want to hold high ground? Don't turn around. Remember. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the for the what's this?
Trans?
The no, the Kiriko cleanse.
Oh, I see. Don't wait for it. Don't wait for it. Shatter is one of those ultimates, which, as you know, after a lot of experience, is one of those ults to where it's like, it can be tricky, right? Very powerful or very bad, depending on the circumstance. Don't wait for Kitsune. Kitsune we can do whatever.
No, the cleanse, I mean.
Oh, but you don't need to worry about cleanse because she's right there.
Yeah, but if she's, if she's on point, she'll cleanse herself and the Zen.
If she's shattered, she can't cleanse.
No, like she can
block the shatter. What are you saying?
Block. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
That's happened a bunch of times, I guess.
Okay. Fair enough. What I will say then is, if you hit this fire strike here, maybe you're able to force cleanse, something like that.
Yeah.
I would even just shatter, just keep yourself alive here. Because this is the thing, is like you think very hard and long and hard about cleanse, and then you shatter a wall, right? Yeah. It's fine. Just pick a target. You're at the risk of overthinking the process, because I would rather you shatter Kiriko and Zen, and then she blocks the shatter, makes a miraculous Suzu play. The Zen, I guarantee the Zen's going to panic and trance, and you guys win the fight off of that. Like, I'm not saying to disrespect your opponents at all. I'm just saying be very careful about thinking 7 steps ahead and then falling flat in your face. What I want you to do is aim for 1 step ahead of where you are right now, which is right now, shatter one person and kill that one person. I don't care about ults. I don't care about Suzu. I don't care about life grip. I don't care about Zari bubbles. I don't care. Shadow one person and kill that one person. And when you can consistently do that, or they get countered by a Suzu and whatever, but you're consistently shattering that one person over and over and over again, but it just gets countered, then you're allowed to start thinking about counters. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Not really.
Okay.
Shouldn't I be, thinking about the counters? I remember when Life Weaver's there. And
yes.
Then I shatter one person, and then that guy gets life gripped anyway.
That's fine. What I'm saying is that I feel during at least this VOD, some of your you've missed opportunities for shatters and messed up a lot of shatters.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if part of it is because you're thinking too hard about so many of those utilities that deny shatter, and so you're missing just the easy stuff. Kind of what I was saying, like where you're so busy thinking about like that Kiriko could Suzu my shatter that you miss an opportunity to just shatter, and then you end up shattering a wall. What I'd prefer you to do is to simplify the process. And if you want to play around Suzu, if you want to play around Light Grip or whatever, that's fine. But do make sure that you have one target and you hit the one target. And just the great thing about Shatter too is you don't even need to get a kill off of it for it to be a good shatter, right? I mean, just shattering that soldier there would have put him on his back, stopped him from doing damage, maybe allowed your team to follow up, force some Suzu, force some CDs, and so on. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's something I haven't thought about. Like you don't need to get a kill with Shatter to make it a good Shatter, because easily, I'm thinking I need to get a kill since
Right.
them being on my back, them being on their back, and then me having a pin.
Yep.
It's a guaranteed.
Right. You can go
cycle,
for
right?
it, right? But if it gets Suzu'd and trance and bubbled and this and that, then it's still a good shatter.
Hmm.
So my point is that if you are able to think about the Suzu and the trance and all these things during your shatter, go for it. But if you catch yourself overthinking things and missing shatters or not using shatter for a long time or shattering walls, then you might need to take a step back.
Yeah.
Because you're overcomplicating things and messing up the basics because you're chasing the tiny little details. I won't say tiny little details because that's not really fair. Waiting for Suzu is great, but it's still less important than not shattering a wall, right? Okay, we get out, maybe. Nice. Same thing with the fire strikes, right? And we won't talk anymore about the mechanics for the rest of this review, but obviously there's been a lot of points, especially with those fire strikes, where it just doesn't feel like you're fully engaged, right?
Mm.
Very important that one of those fire strikes hits in that Zenyatta. Sure, but you got to go fast. Good. Nice clear. This is an interesting one. I want you to watch this fight really carefully.
Mhm.
So you get here a little late. And because of that Zenyatta sneaks some orbs around your shield and kills Brig.
Yeah.
But watch this right now. What would most Reinhardts do in this situation?
Charge in. I
Right?
guess.
Or
Or hit the monkey.
hit the monkey. Right. And you could probably guess how that would go for you. Right? Lose a lot of HP. You get discorded. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But you just stand here and you have a very healthy shield and you just shield.
Yeah.
Let's watch this. You see it? See what happened?
The Kiriko.
Yeah.
Yeah. Winston jumped out.
Kiriko came in.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
by
It's
himself.
interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. All you did there is you stood in front of their backline and prevented them from helping.
Oh yeah.
And it didn't cost you much. It did cost you your shield, of course. But shield is a little bit less valuable than HP sometimes, right? So,
Yeah.
And then Winston lost his bubble, lost a lot of his HP, lost his jump, and they even had to kind of panic and go help the Winston there, right?
Yeah. That was deliberate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad, but I think that that's something to keep an eye on. Going back even to the first point, Route 66 example, remember?
Right.
Route 66, just first point in this map. Period. Something to consider.
I could have held my shield instead of swinging on Winston.
Sometimes it's something to consider. It's like finding the balance between the LH Cloudy either diving and dealing with that backline, or just understanding the value of just shielding off all healing, all damage, all follow-up.
Yeah.
Now, if you're playing into Moira, Lucio, Reaper, everybody's just jumping over your shield, Tracer, then maybe you do need to go pin crazy, just run around the map and smack Reaper around or beat up the Moira, right? But if there is that Zenyatta that's hold, I don't know, something to consider.
Do shields block Harmony or they don't? Do they?
I don't know. One of those questions that you feel like I should know, but I don't. I actually don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe you can go back to when I was holding the shield.
Maybe I can. See if he placed it before he jumped. Yeah, see, he already has it up. I'm not sure. It's a good question. I don't think it matters too much, but yeah, I actually don't know.
Okay.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
Huge fire strike. Huge fire strike. I mean, look at this. He freaks, right? Whereas if you don't hit that fire strike, even this Kiriko freaks,
I
Suzu
can't
teleports, right? And that comes
believe
from
the Kiriko,
yeah, that was silly. That was
that's
definitely
it.
silly of her, right? But still, like she's freaking out, right? She's like, you know what,
Yeah.
you know, and that is one fire strike that needed to hit. If that doesn't hit, this entire fight goes entirely differently. And that Winston's about to die now. And you know why that Winston's about to die? Because you hit your fire strike. Look at his ult charge. If that Kiriko had stayed like 2 seconds longer, he would have primaled and you would have maybe lost this fight. So you still die. Now I'm curious why you died here. Yeah, maybe like here, maybe just a little too sloppy with the soldier in the high ground, you know. But you know what? Like, let's just talk about the good things there. The fact that you guys are only maybe able to survive here because you hit okay, I say that as you maybe dying, but yeah, you hit a fire strike. That fire strike was beyond important. You definitely lose this fight without that fire strike. I like this. Good. That's okay. That's good. That's okay. Live. Touch the last possible second. Oh, this Tracer's big annoying. Oh no. Stay alive. Good. Stay in her. Hit that fire strike. Oh. Yeah, I mean, this is okay. This is a good try. I think like, you know, obviously some things happen outside of our control, but I think lots of good things here. So what are you seeing so far? The obvious answer is mechanics, fire strike, mechanics. But what else? Anything else?
What else? Well, I need to understand when I should go for backline and when I should, stay on the high ground.
Sure.
Keep it for my team.
Sure. And even with that,
Uh,
finding ways to just get value through holding the shield, right?
Yeah.
Anything else? Those are the big important ones.
I need to be more on point with my more decisive, I guess, with my actions. Or shatter, pinning,
Yes.
to escape, or
Yes.
canceling my pin.
Sure.
Face, fast.
Sure. Okay. Good. Any questions so far?
None at
Okay. So let's keep going. I like your play style. Don't always execute it super well, but you definitely have, your study of the game is showing, right? Some of the things that you're doing are not what I would expect from an average plat Reinhardt, which is good.
Nice.
Sure. You see that son of a gun, you can't kill him.
Yeah.
You know? Now, okay, I want you to go crazy with this. I want you to come up with a different strategy of where you could hold on this defense. What is something to try? You know, not even what is the right move, because that's not what we're here for. What is something to try?
It was. I should have stayed with my Reaper.
Yes.
My entire armor just got melted by the Discord plus soldier just shooting down at me.
See this? This soldier could not play here, and you would be in a good position to go for backline if at any point in time you want to.
Yeah.
Even something like, hey, look at my Reaper wants to hold this angle too, and guess what? He has to leave.
Yeah.
If you're here, nobody gets rid of your Reaper. Nobody. I do think that. I'm trying to think. I feel like Reinhardt may be the best anchor in the game.
Yeah, or Sigma.
Yes, but Sigma is something that they can get if you get close to. There's a world where you could force him out, right?
Yeah.
Reinhardt, like if he is the best close range anchor, but yes, the Sigma is the best long range anchor. Even like Amalga, like you could just sit here and shield, for your Reaper, and Amalga would melt, right? Like it's not just the hammer and the armor, it's the shield, it's the whole package, right? So like it takes a disproportionate amount of resources for them to get rid of you up here, even more so than like an Orisa. So and I think that this is one of those situations where you can look back and just be like, what could I have done? I swung on the Winston. I got good swings. I didn't feed. I forced Suzu, and yet we still lost. And it's the same problem, right? It's like you control the Winston. And okay, well. What is this guy doing? Please tell me you find him. Oh yes, you do. Mechanics. Yes. Let's go. I mean, the difference between killing this guy and not killing him is night and day, right? You miss that fire strike, it's you guys. I just know it's over. Now, be careful.
Yeah,
missing HP, and everyone's too far away, right? So your team is okay. Just be careful. Yeah, it's insanity. You should have gone for the Zen. Kiriko should TP away. She should TP away. Whereas the Zen is like, guaranteed value. A little cheeky considering you weren't quite full on the armor and they were a little far away. But you know what? I respect it. Nice fire strike. Nice fire strike again. I guess you're really listening because all of a sudden your mechanics have just, popped off, This is retroactive coaching. We've gone back in time. There's the Bastion swap, which is actually not as scary. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the plan was there. I don't even. He might have been going for somebody else.
I think he missed.
Yeah, I think he was going for somebody else. Yeah, he's going for your. Yeah, he just missed. Yeah, he just missed. Okay, that's unfortunate. Average life we've experienced. The good news is that you're close to Shatter here. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is where, like, I think, you would have liked to have been a little bit more cautious about how far you pushed up here. I think I just sit here on this corner, to be honest with you. I think I play around this mega. I think I play around this cover here. This is a little bit too exposed for my taste. Do you see that?
Yeah, with the Zen Bastion.
Yeah. When cart's your only cover, not great. However, you played it pretty well, right? You're like, oh crap, the Bastion's hurting me. Zen's focusing me. I back out. I get to cover before my shield breaks. I grab the mega into a pin. Yeah, I'm a fan of that. That's pretty dirty right there. Nice job. Ooh, this is what I'm talking about with Shatter, right? Don't overthink it. Smoke him. I mean, obviously it's especially good because there's only 20 seconds left, but like this should be a W here. They might have to touch with trance.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh dear. Okay. Beat on that Zen. Let's go. On mechanics. All mechanics here. Check this out. First off, fire strike this, right?
Yeah.
Second off, if you're going to pin, you better hit the Zen. You miss the Zen. Then you don't cancel your pin until too late. Then you lose the Zen. You swing in the Kiri, even though the Zen's right there. You don't trust your... Yeah, go ahead.
I realized that was a late pin. But that's usually when I cancel it.
Okay, good. You don't trust yourself to fire strike.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is right here, instead of fire striking, you swing again. Problem is, that gives her time to TP away.
I also don't usually do that cancel. I mean, I'm
right.
aware of it,
Right. So she gets a full heal volley off. You miss that fire strike. This is another opportunity to fire strike because look at his HP, right? If this guy was 5 HP lower, then he would have died instantly there. So it takes 2 swings, where even just a swing fire strike there would have been faster. Miss that pin, although it was close. You don't get mega, and then you lose.
I remember this one. Yeah.
I mean, this is a fight where, like, if you just make 1 or 2 small decisions or specific mechanics, you win this fight.
Yeah.
Like, it is so close. And that's what, the second time that this has happened, right? So, this is where you can really like point your finger at a moment in time where this is where mechanics wins. And this is the thing is like every game that you play, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 fights per game where mechanics would win. What mechanics win? Not even perfect mechanics, not LH Cloudy mechanics, not diamond level mechanics, just platinum level mechanics.
Yeah.
Actually, screw the rank. Just better mechanics, slightly better mechanics than where you're at right now.
Yeah.
And that over the course of many games, and you could apply that to a lot of things, right? You could apply that to your Shatter. You could apply that to whether you're controlling high ground or not. But like that's kind of like your idea is that like you want to pick something that you know is going to help you to win more games, and actually practice it in such a way that might lose you more games. So if you are practicing your mechanics, we talked about this, right? You might make a lot of stupid decisions with your pen. You might misposition a lot. You might mess up your shatters, right? Because you're thinking really hard about your fire strikes and your swings and so on. But that's okay, because if you keep practicing that over and over and over again, then you're going to be able to be like, all right, that's a week of practicing on my mechanics, or that's a day, or that's a game, or 2 days, or whatever, a weekend, whatever. Now I'm going to work on my positioning. And guess what? Your mechanics are going to be 2% better without even trying.
As in, when we say focus on the mechanics, as in, don't think about, don't even try to, do the flanks or go for the back line or anything.
Sure. I mean, I think you could do that. But when it's time to fire strike, you better darn well hit that fire strike. You give disproportionate amount of attention into that fire strike than you normally would.
Okay.
It's kind of like, when you are playing, you're familiar with basketball, the American sport?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what a free throw is?
Yeah. I know.
Okay. Okay. So when you're playing basketball, you're thinking about dribbling, you're thinking about passing, you're aware of people around you, right?
Yeah.
And then you take a shot. But kind of like even as you're like going to take a shot, especially if you're inexperienced, you're still thinking about like all the other things in front of your eyes, right? So you're not as likely to hit the shot, right? But a free throw, you're doing nothing but hitting that free throw.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking you to do is I'm asking you to play basketball, but to treat every shot like it's a free throw. So you're still dribbling, you're still passing the ball, but you're thinking, get ready. And so you might mess up some passes here. You might mess up your dribbling because you're thinking about, here comes that shot. And you totally focus in on that shot. And that's kind of like how you need to be practicing your mechanics. That's not how you need to be playing your mechanics every game, but when you're practicing your mechanics, that's how it needs to be. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. You seem a little bit unsure. I know it's tricky.
Yeah. Treat it as a free throw. Like we're when I fire strike or when I'm about to fire strike, that's really all I am thinking
Yes, exactly. That's it exactly.
Okay, sure.
And I think like if you're able to just progress that, and what I would do is I would practice different skills depending on how you feel. You feel like I want to practice my mechanics today? Okay. I want to practice my positioning today? Okay. I want to practice my shatters today? Okay.
Yeah.
They've got a Winston? Ooh. Now I'm going to practice like whether I'm going to shield for him or swinging him or control backline. That's a really, really good thing to practice. That's a very complicated thing to practice, but it's very good to practice, right? So that's kind of like what I want you to be doing. So any questions? We'll make some notes here in a second, but do you have any questions?
Wait, sorry, what was that last thing that you said about the Winston?
As in, do I swing on Winston? Do I control backline? Do I shield Winston?
Yeah.
Kind of the versus dive thing, wrecking ball, doomfist, that whole kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, questions. Right. So one of the things that you mentioned with shatter is to just shatter. But how do I know, like, what's the I guess the nuance between shattering now and waiting or playing around the counters for shatter?
Got it. What I would do is, if you want to go to like the complete monkey brain.
Yeah.
Fight has started. Is there somebody to shatter? If yes, shatter.
Mhm.
That's it. If you want to go level 1. Is the fight started? Yes. Am I in a good position to outplay that one ability? One. Life grip, Susu, whatever.
How do I out? What do you mean by outplay?
Like outplay?
Yeah.
Well, you tell me. Let's say they're on Kiriko, Mercy, whatever, and you're focusing only on Suzu. How do you outplay Suzu as a Reinhardt?
Well, I bait it out, or I guess
how do you bait it out?
I hit someone else, or I focus on them.
Sure, or you just wait, right? You just wait. So if you don't have a way of baiting it out, just wait mid-fight. Listen for it. Listen. There it is. Go. Right?
Yeah.
And that's level 1. Level 2 is when you're playing versus Kiriko and Lifeweaver.
Yeah, that's
Right? When you now have 2 things to worry about. So, but that's it's I wouldn't rush that is what I'm saying. I wouldn't worry immediately like, okay, we're gonna immediately like worry about it. One step at a time. For right now, it sounds like maybe you're overthinking, trying to skip to level 2, but you're not even at level 0 yet. You're missing opportunities to shatter earlier, if that makes any sense. So
okay.
focus on that. And then if you find yourself, I'm hitting shatters every time. Okay, jump to level 1. Start worrying about that trance. Start worrying about that the Zari bubbles, right? Start worrying about whatever they've got. You choose that one thing that's most important to countering your shatter, and you worry about that.
Yeah.
And also remember the big thing too that we talked about earlier, where just because the shatter gets countered doesn't mean it was a bad shatter.
Okay.
Because like, what if you're playing Life versus a Life Weaver, Zarya, Kiriko? You know? I mean, come on. How are you supposed to play around double bubble, life grip, Suzu? You know? Almost impossible, right?
Yeah.
So what you might end up doing is you're just going to shatter to force bubbles because that's really bad for them is to use bubbles on an ultimate and not even be able to bubble and push, right? So you're okay. You know, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's something that I didn't think about.
Yeah. So what I would do is don't think of shatter as like I have to get a kill for it to get value. Just think it depends on the circumstance. Just see what happens. But the bad thing would be is if you shatter to get a kill, but and you play like it's going to get a kill, but it doesn't get a kill. That's when it's bad, right? Because if you go for something that's like, oh, this is never going to get a kill, and yet I went for, that's when you die, right? You pin that Zenyatta and he gets life gripped. That's when you die, right?
Yeah.
It's okay if you shatter the Zenyatta and you're like, I'm going to throw a fire strike at him. Oh, he gets life gripped. Okay, whatever. That's fine. But it's bad when you're like, I'm going to pin this guy. And now you're out of position and Zenyatta's safe and you die. Make sense?
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot to think about, but also keep in mind that we don't have to think about everything that we talked about today when you're practicing. Just one thing at a time. Be very patient. Some people like to practice one thing per day. Some people like to practice one thing per weekend. Some people like to practice one thing per game. For me, I like to practice, mix things up almost every single game just to kind of keep it fresh. But sometimes that's just a little too fast. Be patient. Any questions?
Yeah, no questions at the moment.
Okay. Last thing I will say, the most important thing. Remember the breaks. Remember the mentality.
Yeah.
That's more important than anything else we talked about today because we talked a lot about technique and strategy and all this advanced stuff, relatively advanced review. But you will be unable to learn, focus, remember, or do anything if you're tired or tilted.
Yeah.
So, that always gets priority. It doesn't mean that you can't learn unless you have like a rosy cheeks angel mindset, but just be patient. Be patient.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay. No questions?
Yeah, no questions. It's
Right.